Hi everybody. So I want to talk about something that I think is probably a little bit more of a controversial topic. I don't believe this falls under the category of sound sage advice. On the other hand, it's a question that I've heard a lot, and it's for those of us that want to exact our own form of karma onto a narcissist, and that's how to make them jealous, like beyond belief, like just the cancerous, eat you up inside, feel like a failure, can't stop thinking about what happened, what you did kind of jealousy. The malignant jealousy, I think, is probably a better term for it. How do you do that with somebody that seemingly has no emotions and no feelings and no moral compass? How do you make them jealous? And I've seen this question a lot, and I'm going to preface it with this. It's probably not a good idea. I use the term probably as in like maybe less than 1% of the time will it ever be a good idea. You can do it if you want some sort of emotional, if you want to unlock some sort of emotional achievement, that mythically appears on your scoreboard of life. But it's nothing good comes of jealousy ever. Certainly not when you do it on purpose to somebody who is disordered. That is just asking for you getting a stalker, having your car damaged, more harassment, things like that. It's going to always lead to a narcissist escalating things and escalating the situation. So, this is not something to do on purpose. On the other hand, you got to know what does it so you can be aware. And so for that reason, and that reason alone, I'm doing this video. Because if you don't know, then you're going to be, the chances of you unknowingly doing this are pretty high. So, what drives a narcissist to malignant jealousy? It comes from your moving on to where you literally just don't give a shit what this person says, thinks, or does. Because what drives the jealousy is your ability to grow yourself from within. So we've talked about narcissism and how one of the hallmarks of narcissism is this very extremely low sense of self-esteem and very low self-worth, and the development of a fake facade around it, sort of as a protective shell, so that they never have to address their problems and their own lack of development. So when you move on, you have to manufacture your own happiness, and it's easier for introverts than it is for extroverts. Introverts are somewhat familiar with this concept, where your happiness comes from within, and that means you can be sitting in a chair by yourself with a goldfish and a puppy and a book and be content and be happy. You don't need someone to make you happy. I used to be very codependent, and I was constantly looking for someone to make me happy, and that was my own shortcomings and my own codependence. My wife has been overwhelmingly helpful in breaking me of those habits and breaking that psychology and bringing me up to a healthy psychology. I still have some ways to go still, but I've come a long way. So being able to generate your own happiness from within is what's absolutely critical. Because when you do that, then you can actually break the policy of no contact and actually take contact and initiate contact, not fall for any of the manipulation and hoovering schemes, and let none of it work on you whatsoever. And because of that, a narcissist is going to see that you're happier without them, you're better off without them. That is a huge blow to their ego, to see somebody else that they were with go off and be alone without somebody else, and to be better off than they were with them, right? The narcissist is not gonna be able to process that well. They're gonna not like that. They're gonna want to attack that and prove that you're being fake and that you're lying it and that you're just acting like you're better off without them. Because they did everything for you, and you defined yourself through them, and you just by yourself, you have no identity or self-worth or value, right? So you just move on. You just make yourself happy, content, be by yourself. You know, just, you don't even have to be with anybody. Just be you and be happy. And then whenever you do actually get into a relationship, you know, breathe some life into it. You know, let it grow, let it develop. You know, nurture it, take care of it. Narcissists just absolutely cannot deal with someone who got away and does better without them while being single. It just absolutely burns them up. So understand that that's what you're dealing with, and that means that this is going to come up during your recovery process and as you move on. If you're a co-parent with a narcissist, this is very important to know and understand, that you being happy and single by yourself and being better off by yourself is going to be a huge jab and a huge blow to their ego. They're going to see your happiness as an attack. Like literally, you being by yourself and being happy, that's you attacking them, because you're, in their mind, you're not actually happy. You're not actually better off. You're doing this on purpose, and you're putting on a fake show to attack me, as if I'm going to feel bad about it. Well, you know what? Like, you know, that's an act of war, and I'm going to get even. You know, they at least mine does. That's how she was. So yeah, show that you're happier without them, that you don't need them. You're actually better off and better served to not have them in your life. Nobody's helping you, and you're still doing better. And you don't need somebody in their life, because that's another thing. Narcissists need other people in their life to get through life, to help make up for their developmental shortcomings. You know, that's the entire point of supply. Narcissists have to extract supply from people to prop themselves up. They need that. If you focus inward on yourself and get to the point where you do not need people, you manufacture your own happiness. Your own happiness comes from within, and you're perfectly content to be alone. You get to that place, and you're good. Narcissists do not have that luxury. They do not have that option. They cannot live that way, nor could they ever pull that off. They act like they don't need you all the time. They use that as an emotional insult. But keep this in mind. When people don't need people, you never hear from them again. Now think about that a second. The narcissist is the one who's always pulling you back in. because they need you. And through the cycle of abuse, they change your psychology to think that you need them. You don't need them. They've just triggered you into an addictive behavior. But you don't really need them. You know, drug users don't necessarily need drugs to survive. They need the drugs because they are addicted and because they are trying to deal with an emotional trauma or some sort of emotional issue that they're working through. So, and it's the same. It's the same with people. So, anyways, thank you very much for watching and listening. Please like, comment, or share if you have any thoughts or inputs about narcissists and jealousy and, you know, relationships. Let me know. Chime in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video.